Woo, I feel like this time you actually get a real video of me, or at least a real video of my office at home with its James Bond and Matrix posters and all that stuff, books and piles, and replying to folks. I talked about the piles. There's piles. I was envious of all of you who have very clean workspaces. Okay, so thank you for your hard work on due date number one. Just a reminder for those of you who either didn't complete everything for due date number one, or those of you who what's the word I'm looking for? Didn't get full points on things. Feel free to revise and resubmit, or just submit the work. The critical point here is that after I've done like the first batch of grading, and I'll usually post something saying, hey, I finished grading due date 1, due date 2, whatever. If you make something up, make sure you email me with the due date number. So you'll notice here DD1H1, so due date 1, homework 1, due date 1, homework 2, down here for the deadline today, due date 2, homework 1. Email me these so I know which ones you want me to go regrade. If you just say, hey, I caught up on work, and I'll be like, what assignments? I'm not going to go look through every single assignment, especially as the class progresses. Again, I acknowledge life happens. You may have not finished everything, but I can't stress enough, if you get too far behind, the likelihood of you catching up successfully, or catching up, and so you can successfully for the class pass the class, plummets. So do your work. Do your work regularly. Okay, quick reminders of what is due today. I should have gotten this up earlier, but you know, like you all, I'm busy. So syllabus contract, all you have to do on that is download the document, type in your name, notice type, and your Maricopa ID number and the date, and then re-upload it. Map your homework work schedule. That please make sure you complete. So put your whole schedule. You don't have to necessarily say like I'm playing with the kids. You can just say I'm busy, but make sure you mark your sleep times, your eat times, your busy times, and then reflect on it. Again, this is all work trying to promote, get you all thinking about how you're going to fit this class into your very busy schedules. And as we saw from your introductions, you have very busy schedules, which is normal. Okay, then everything else is getting you moving on the class. The two due date homework 3 and homework 4, they're both getting you to understand or start understanding the concept of genre. So genre, think of genre as types of writing. A lot of times the easiest way to think of genres are like forms or genres, or you think of it in terms of movies like horror, romance. But if you think about it, they're types of movies, and the types are there's certain types of content. That content is arranged in very certain ways. It's the same with writing. And another way to quickly, easily think of genres is think of business writing. There's different genres in business writing, resumes and different types of letters. And if you work in the medical industry, there's tons of genres there. So think of things that are repeated, types of writing that are repeated. Those are genres. So in due date, homework 3 and homework 4, you're going to kind of be thinking about genre and analyzing genre. Homework 5, you read the assignment prompt. And guess what? You're going to be writing in a specific genre called a listicle. And that's why you're exploring listicles up here. And again, like the syllabus, you'll be making a comment on the prompt. Make sure, so I know you were there. It also gives you the ability to ask questions. And then due date 6 is listing possible topics. So things I want to remind you, I mean it when on the assignment prompt, write about something in which you already feel you know a lot about. The point is for you not to have to go research. You should kind of just already know this. And then on this list possible topics homework, take time. I can't stress enough, if you don't pick a topic that you like and really focus and narrow it, it makes the writing harder. So that topic, and then all the replies. So you'll notice, I'm going to link out here, the replies, you're responsible for replying to 4 classmates. Take the time and really prompt your classmates with questions so it gets them thinking about the topics that they're interested in. That's all time well spent. Okay, so the last thing I just want to quickly remind you, and probably end of next week I'll ask, in perusal is structured in a way that it wants you to comment on the writing while you're doing it. And I'm still trying to figure this out. So for example, I want to thank, let's see, there we go, all comments. I want to thank the folks who made comments on project one here, or on assignment one. I'm going to go into the actual assignment, and I think, there we go. I want to thank all you. I'm figuring out how to reply to those. I confess the reply function is, I'm figuring it out, but we're in there. We're figuring this out. But again, Perusal's gonna kind of pester you if you're not in here and not only reading, but you're engaging with it. And so hopefully you notice that I also respond and engage. You can answer each other's questions. But yeah, that's why Perusal is sending they call them nudges. Nudge, nudge, go read. And then it's also nudging you to go reread. And again, scholarship shows that if you revisit something, you're more likely to remember it. So things to keep in mind if you're thinking about, oh, I'm getting nudged to reread this. Most of these are short chapters, especially the ones that are my writing. You don't necessarily have to reread the whole thing. You don't have to go into the activities, but if you reread this first couple pages, that's worth your time. A lot of you are like, oh, I'm still understanding what this rhetorical situation is. So potentially rereading it after you did the activity, after you looked at other people's stuff, it might get you thinking about it differently. And that's kind of how Perusal works. It's prompting you to do that rereading. Okay, I hope that's enough to get you going. I'm excited, and I don't know what else. I can't wait to see the topics you all are going to share with us, because this assignment I love because you all are sharing your passions and we get to learn from one another. So keep up the good work. I know it's Saturday, and I look forward to reading your stuff tomorrow on Sunday.